Hey, it's Bowen, and we're here at the Pop facility just outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to play a game that I really love and used to totally hate, Paragon from Bally. One of the best of that era of the late 70s, early 80s single ball games. This game is brutally difficult, and it's really probably the biggest reason that I've come back to it as a game I've begun to really enjoy just over the last few years. It's also a terrific game for developing flipper skills and the ability to nudge the machine in places other than down just by the flippers. So I'm going to take you through a few games of this, talk to you a little bit about the strategies that are involved in playing Paragon, and we'll try to rack up at least one or two decent games. Before you begin, there's a few things to take note of. One is that there are two flippers on the right hand side down the bottom. And this is an unusual arrangement, but it was popular in the late 70s and early 80s. And it presents a unique opportunity for the ball to drain between the flippers. We call that getting double flipper bitched, or there are probably more polite ways of saying it. But one goal if you're playing Paragon the first time, just try to avoid draining that way between the flippers. It means that you can't go for any catches to a trap ball on the lower flipper. You can do so on the upper flipper, but that's just something to keep in mind. This also presents a couple of opportunities for how you play shots from the right flippers, because the angle for each of these shots, in particular the drops that are very important here, the angle on each of these flippers will be different, and depending on what Paragon you play on, these two shots, the drop target shot and the spinner shot, both of which are critical to scoring well, you just have to get used to them, and you have to get used to them twice. You have to know where to shoot them from the lower right flipper or the upper right flipper. There's also a mini flipper next to the drop targets, and we'll talk about what that is. Also, this left area with the bumper, we'll talk about some options there, but basically if you get in here you're in deep trouble, and ideally you don't want the ball to end up there, but there are some ways to try and nudge and help yourself to get out of that area. Alright, let's fire this up. So my goal on the plunge here is to get it into Golden Cliffs in the upper left. Golden Cliffs advances from 2 up to 20 as the game goes on. So ideally I want to roll over the advanced bonus to the top and go into the Golden Cliffs. But if I can just get it into Golden Cliffs, it's good. When it comes out of Golden Cliffs, my first goal is to try and get it back into Golden Cliffs by shaking the machine in such a way that it tries to return there, and you really don't have a sense of how that is unless you try it a lot. It's mainly a shaking as the ball is in the saucer to try and influence the angle and direction it comes out. Once the ball is down on the lower flippers, the first goal of the game is to get the multipliers racked up and try to earn an extra ball. And you do this by shooting the targets in the Valley of Demons on the left. Probably the I won't say the safest way, but one of the most skillful ways to do this is to use a tap pass and to tap it over from the left to the right. So you do this by hitting the flipper very lightly. You can see me tapping a little bit on the right here. The smaller the tap, the better. So that's a poor tap. That's a okay tap, but not really. That's a good tap. So let's see if I can do a couple tap passes. My goal is to tap over to the right flipper and then nail a drop. There's a tap pass, nail a drop, get control. And you have a lot of potential patience on this game. So like there, where the ball looked out of control, it really wasn't. It was that was exactly what I wanted to do there. And you can use the tips of the flippers to push the ball left or right away from the center of the drain. So again, we're going to tap it over to the right, and then nail the drop, or brick the drop. And the ball was briefly out of control there. Fortunate to survive this area actually, but very little that I or anyone else can do to save a ball that's over there. Tap, and that's a much worse tap, obviously. The other way is to kind of lob the ball into the air, and then use the momentum of the lob or even a post transfer to try and give the ball some momentum to push over to the other side. Let's keep trying the tap pass a little bit more. So that was too hard, so it went out to the upper flipper. That's not too bad. The other way to nail these drops is to backhand them, and you can actually nail even the 5X, the whole shot, from the backhand. The ball has to be on the very top edge of the flipper to perform a successful backhand. The 5X shot, though, is a much different shot than the other drop targets. I have to go in the hole at the top, and you can see it's guarded by this weird little plastic piece, which was designed so that the ball doesn't fly through there and around into the back. Unfortunately, the plastic piece is a little too aggressive, and it blocks almost any hard shot into the hole area. So, for example, if I try what I did before, which is to tap it over and hit a nice hard shot, this is what happens. Well, I missed the shot and then drain off the edge of the flipper. But what actually happens is it rejects. So hopefully I'll get back up there and get a chance to try that again and show you what I mean. So I'm also trying to do drop catches more than live catches. Live catch obviously is not possible off of the lower right flipper. But even a drop catch, you have to be very careful, because drop catches, the ball can kind of fall back. And so drop catches have to be very short in duration. So let's do the tap again. Tap, hit the drop. And notice there, I almost paid for that, even though I didn't miss a shot there. So coming back off of these drop targets, what I do is I hold up the upper left flipper. That tries to avoid the potential of the ball going in the beast area. And if it's coming towards the middle, I will hold up the left flipper and have the right ready so that I have that area blocked off a little bit. So let's tap to get the 3X. So there, the upper left flipper helped me there. But now for the 5X, a full hard shot from the lower left flipper won't go in. That one went in, but you can see it kind of rattled a lot on its way in. So if I tried to shoot a full shot, it will get rejected by that. So just to show you what that is, let's try making a... I know I shouldn't normally be doing this, so I'm kind of losing as a result. But shooting a hard shot into that area will get rejected. And I'm not going to try to demonstrate that again. And what you have to do is almost deliberately lob it or have it bank off of something, trying to make it so that it doesn't go into that hole at full force. Because you can kind of whale your way through those targets, but then once you get to the 5X, it's a different beast. Okay. Yeah. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just going to go right in every time. But I found that at least on this particular Paragon, they're all different. That gets rejected, 75–80% of the time on a normal hard shot like that. But that even was a better than average shot in terms of the style of what has to get thrown up there. So that was a good idea. And what I feel I try to do here is I post-transfer it over so it just gets the tip of the flipper. And then when I do make a shot up into that area, it's not a fully strong shot. And you can see me shaking at the top here, and I got 4 or 5 of these without the ball coming back down, and this is on purpose. I am nudging to try and get the ball to go into the saucer and go back up to the top. 7, 8, and I pushed it too hard there. But you get the idea there that if you nudge out of the cliffs and as the ball hits those bumpers within reason, you have a good chance of getting multiple awards from the top that you wouldn't have otherwise. You're not going to beat the beast very often, but a couple tricks to beating the beast is when the ball is here, you really want to give the game some hard shoves to either get it back into the bumper or have it cross that gap. Ideally, you want to push it just hard enough to get it over that hump without hitting the bumper again. And of course, the best is if you can just get it to fly back out again. Hopefully, hopefully, I'll be able to do that at least once. But the 2 games so far actually haven't been bad. They've been a little over 100 grand each time. Nothing spectacular, but in both games, I earned an extra ball. That was a bad flip there. That was a flip where I was trying to get control in the lower right, and instead the upper right flipper flipped it away. So I was lucky to not have a drain there. So let me try going back to the tap pass. Tap passing is really the best way to play this from the left to the right. The post transfer is ugly, it works, but it really doesn't get the ball to where it should be. So there's a good tap pass. Still, you know, not as good as it could be because it went up a little bit higher, but that was good. That's good. That's the way it should be. So you tap, get it back, tap, make a drop, get a trap, tap, failed tap there. And you see the danger. When you fail a tap pass, the ball is just out of control. I just flail it into the side of the game for no reason there because I hit the tap too hard. So it's tap. That was about as good as it's going to get with a tap pass for me. Tap. And again, now I'm trying to get the ball softly to the lower right flipper. That was dangerous. So that I can put it into the 5X. And I want that rattling around because it has a chance. But lucky there really with the beast. But the tap does a decent job of getting the ball to the lower right if it's executed well. But that was way too hard a shot. That's not going to go. That's too hard. That's not going to go. That actually had a better chance than any of them. But eventually, you either just get sick of this and fail, or you try going at it a different way and just saying, all right, screw it, I'm going to rack bonus instead of trying to get the 5X. And, you know, in a game where the 5X shot is difficult, like this one is, that may actually be a decent strategy. I'm going to go back to the post transfer to try and get that 5X accomplished because when I was making it in the earlier session, in the earlier games, oh boy. Hit control again. There was a push to the right as the ball hits above the upper left flipper. And my goal there is to get it to push towards this flipper here instead of being a little more out of control. I think that was what led to the ball coming down more cleanly than it would have otherwise. So just be aware that you can nudge anywhere on the machine, and it's very valuable to do so. You'll get a lot more accomplished, and it's hard to see, maybe too subtle for the video, but every time the ball goes into one of these saucers, Golden Cliffs or the Paragon, I'm shaking the machine like this, trying to get a little bit more action as it comes out of those saucers because I want the ball to bounce off and go right back in to get another free bonus. So I'm going to try the post transfer to get the 5X. My goal is to just kind of drool the ball out so I can lob it up there. Oh boy. So here, yeah, I'm not having very much luck making that 5X, but I am getting close to the 20,000 again. So this might be a situation where, and that's a tough return. You have to judge the return off of that waterfall depending on how the machine plays. In fact, I've now seen this one come to the left once and to the right once, so it still feels very dangerous to me, and I don't have a sense of where that return is supposed to be. But if you hold up your right flipper and have your lower left flipper down, there's actually very little room for the ball to actually go and drain. So you should be able to save it by using either the right flipper and potentially a little slap, or by letting it go and hitting the left flipper when it comes towards the middle. So at 16, I'd still like to get that 5X. So there's a post transfer, better success there. And you just have to have patience on this. Lob it up there, and you know, sometimes it works, but it does take some trial and error. And this is also very unique to different Paragons. You know, there's some Paragons where it'll go in that 5X no problem. The one I play with my friend John and others in Maine tends to lip out past more than it falls short like this one does. But now I'm just batting the ball around hopes. There's the other shot you can make with the upper flipper. And I'm at 18,000. There's 19. I really want to get one more advanced bonus before draining, because I have 19, and if I can get to 20, I keep it. There's the 20. So that 20 is going to stay with me the rest of the game now, and I'm pretty happy with that, because that is an automatic advantage for the rest of the game. If I'm playing head-to-head against someone, I'm pretty likely to win at this point, unless they can do the same thing, because it's ball 1, and I got the super bonus already at 20. If I can get extra ball on this ball, I have a potential to really pull off a real good game here. So at this point, I really need to get that 5x. Just getting the 5x itself is a 40,000 shot, which is more valuable than anything else the game can do. So let's put this across and see if I can't get that friggin' 5x. Oh! Good Lord, man. So you just have to continue to have patience. It's not going to get any easier. But you can see there how a hard shot is just not going to work. There's no way a hard shot is going in there. So if a hard shot's not going in there, I got to try something else. And that's to lob it up there and hope it falls in. And that was closer. That almost went in. There's a good de-beasting. I got out by nudging the machine hard and pushing it when it's on specific. And that looked really dangerous. That looked like things were in deep doo-doo, but actually they weren't so bad. There's the 5x, finally. So again, you just have to have patience. Patience pays off really well in this game. And now the 5x was important, but getting in there a second time is even more important, because then I'll have an extra ball. And again, hard shots, really no chance. So at this point, I can also go for 30,000 super bonus, but I feel that when extra ball is lit, you really have to just go straight for that. So I'm going to try the post transfer again, get it over here, and lob. And you really have to do it that way. You have to lob it in there. That's not going to go on a hard shot. And now that the extra ball has been achieved, really it's all about bonus at this point. The other thing that starts to come into play is these drop targets. If you look around, you're like, oh, I got nothing to do because I've done everything. Well, congratulations. But also you can shoot these drop targets down, and they're worth an increasing amount of points for each completion. That really is not a goal I would suggest going for. The other thing I would suggest going for at this point, besides getting the bonus to 30, because 30 will give me a better super bonus, that's what I'm actually going to try for, is to continue advancing Golden Cliffs. And from the left flipper, that would mean putting it through this lane back to the top. And from the right flipper, it would mean going through the advanced bonus spinner, or even transferring it over to the left, which is a relative rarity in this game. But I would not recommend going for the drop targets anymore. There just isn't really any more value in there. The game offers a special if you can get back in that hole again, but we don't care about specials in competition, so I'm not going to go for it. What I'm going to do is try to transfer it over to the right, and that was a bit of a disaster there, for obvious reasons. But I'm at 29, and obviously I want to get to 30. There is an advanced bonus target in the middle here. Don't even think about aiming for that ever. It looks, oh yeah, advanced bonus. That looks like a good idea. It's never a good idea to shoot for that target. I don't care what your situation is. I need one more bonus, so I'm going to shoot through the lane on the right, or try to. And hope I get it bouncing around into any one of the opportunities to earn bonus. But nope, still at 29. And I do not have that shot through the lane there on the right. So I'd actually aim for this drop target, but it's bally, so it's not going to go down. So I'm going to continue to try shooting through that lane on the right. And if I can get into Golden Cliffs, 10,000, hey. And that's the bonus advance, so I'm at 30. So here I've got my 30, and I'm just going to go through the right now. Continue advancing Golden Cliffs, try to get the 40 bonus if I can. This, again, the drops are nice, but who cares? That's 12,000 there on Golden Cliffs, or a bonus advance worth 5,000 on Paragon. So that's the shot. I want to get Golden Cliffs. If I can get Golden Cliffs maxed out, you know, it's just a really nice thing to have. Every shot to Golden Cliffs now for the rest of the game. The next shot is 14,000. Pretty sweet. Let's get in there, get the 14. So you have full control over that. That was my fault for not getting in there, because I wasn't ready for where it was going to be. I didn't bounce that over properly. So there's me controlling that and bouncing it over. And let's get back in that Golden Cliffs. I got 6 out of 7 letters for Paragon, but who cares? Completing Paragon gives you an extra 25,000. It's not worth anything. There is a special attached to it, but again, competition play, those kinds of goals are irrelevant. This has been a very good ball, which of course is the death knell. I've said that it's gone well. I'm trying to rip that spinner to get to 40. And I've got 39, so I'm not going to change my strategy, which is to go through the lane to the right. If I can get an advanced bonus, so I get 14 there. See, I'm shaking like crazy trying to get, there we go, there's 40. So I've now maxed out the super bonus. It's going to give me 40 for every ball and the remainder of the ball. So for the rest of the game, I'm going to be going for bonus multipliers right off the bat. And now you look at, oh, what else is there to do? But the Golden Cliffs is at 16,000 a shot. Paragon Saucer, if I can get in there for a P, it'll give me 25. And I just completed those drop targets. I can't even remember the last time I actually did that. And I certainly didn't do it on purpose. But the drop targets, nice ball though. And we get a nice bonus countdown. When things are nice, this feels good. The maximum bonus is 49,000, and when you get the bonus countdown at 49,000, you get a nice little sound at the end where it plays out that tune, and the little extra note you get at 49,000 is like an icing on the cake for playing the game really well. But you have to get 5x at 49 to get that cake. So we'll see if I can play a ball like that. But still ball 1 from the extra. And you're not going to see me play too differently. What you are going to see is probably the game ball ending in like a second and a half. Because that's the way. This is really what makes Paragon special, I think. Oh, and you can do that. Yeah. Backhanding those drop targets is possible. You can even backhand the hole at the very top. It's not easy, and you really have to have the ball on the very tip of the flipper. So I've been post-transferring, but what I'm now going to try to do, if I don't quite have the post-transfer, is I'm going to start trying to make that shot from whichever side I'm on. But that was very critical scoring-wise. I just scored 80,000 extra points there by getting myself to the 5x to the 3x bonus. And it's exclusively all the work that I did on the first ball that lets that happen. Lob it up there and try to get the 5x. So I'm going to be doing a lot of lob shots now, trying to get the 5x. So it's very patient. Let it go right to the tip of the flipper on the lower right. And then hope it goes in. And hold up the upper left flipper. Give yourself another chance. And I said before, don't ever aim for that target in the middle. That was not on purpose. Or I can claim it wasn't on purpose. It definitely wasn't on purpose. But it was a poorly timed flip. It sent me right in that advanced bonus, and boom, right back down the middle. So let's get into Golden Cliffs. Come on, get in there. It's worth freaking 16. But now, you know, if you have any kind of super bonus, your first target should immediately be get yourself at least to the 3x, because the 3x is relatively achievable. It's a weird game, Paragon, in the way that the inline drop targets work. You know, other games of the era, the 8 Ball Deluxe is probably the first game of the era that I really remember playing any amount of. every drop target is a multiplier. But in this game, because it's just evil, the first 2 drop targets don't give you anything. You only get 2x by getting the 3rd drop target, and you only get 3x by getting the 4th drop target. And then, like, just diabolically, you don't even get the 5x until you get the hole at the end. And come on, what are you? You're just being mean. But you got to go for it. It's just too valuable not to try. And that was a poor shot there, obviously hitting the post there. I didn't hold the flipper long enough to go try for the real 5x shot. But I'm scoring a lot of points off that without really doing much of anything because I earned the 40,000 super bonus. So let's see if I can't get the 49 5x on this last ball. At least play out something decent. There's the 16,000. That's the Golden Cliffs. You rack the Golden Cliffs and you just keep racking the Golden Cliffs. There's a decent amount of points just in Golden Cliffs. You can, if you're on your last ball of this game and you realize you haven't done much of anything, Golden Cliffs is a decent way to cash in. You can at least get some points out of your game by cashing in a few Golden Cliffs. So let's try backhanding the targets again. It's fun. Yeah, I'm probably just messing around too much there. Yeah, alright, we'll get it anyway. Any way we can. Let's try not being idiots about it at least. And I know it's been a pretty good game, honestly. But patience on this game. And it's a weird game because you have patience, but then at the same time you have to have super fast reflexes when it calls for it, when the ball is in the beast zone, or, you know, that was just an idiot move there, and I almost drained my last ball from it. So obviously some of these things are things I would not be doing in actual competition play. Like that. Yeah, good job. So that's the end. Good game here. Almost, but not quite up to the high qualifying score that's been achieved on this game. It's an 800,000 game that was played at the Pop 13 qualifying. Hope you enjoyed this, and if you see a Paragon location, obviously first you should celebrate and then pump money into it until you love it. Have a great night or morning, whatever time it is you're watching this, and go play some more pinball. Bye-bye.